Oh. My gosh. This looks interesting. But also it's over here. This is, I'm pretty sure, is a part of town that we've not yet been to. Or at least if we have, it's very brief. Yeah, new marker. And let's see, so it's house with a tree-shaped crest. Somewhere. Around here. Presumably not one that is currently occupied. That's it. Except, perhaps it is.
The sign must be the house.
Okay, so that's like in here if the guard will let us through, but he probably won't.
Be gone from my sight.
Wants us to be gone from his sight.
Ah,
Can we go through the house to get there? Or climb up monkey style? Get in this way?
It's humming. Something's not quite right.
Of course not.
Need to go around.
We need to find a way into the garden.
Sir Geralt of Rivia. 3 cheers for the tourney's victor. Hip hip hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Thanks. Convenient. Too convenient. No obvious signs of foul play, other than that chest there, which is not really foul play as much as it is probably the place with the Gwent cards. And we'll definitely take it, but why was the medallion going crazy? Are they haunted Gwent cards? Garden key. Okay, what is this?
Not here.
Okay, she did give us some indication as to where she hid them. I forget what it was. Oh! Hello, ginormous archspore. That is what we were waiting to encounter down here. Okay. That's what we were gonna find. Let us put on a cursed oil to increase our damage here. How beat up is our silver sword? It's... Actually, is it silver or is it... It is silver. In this situation. Okay. So... That's fine. It is dead already. No problem. Oh, except that. Blew up in our face, but I think we're fine now. Maybe? I think we're fine now. You know, gardening. It happens. Yeah, we might potentially just go in there. There's also this ladder, though. Might have been another way to get over here. Yeah, if we went up this way. Yeah. Looks like there were potentially a couple ways in here. Is there anything we can loot over there? Examine this. This time?
Nothing here.
Nope. Here. Probably. Maybe. Possibly.
Just like she said.
Right, of course. I totally remember.
Gwent cards, as promised.
Alright, sweet. Quest complete. What about the Gwent cards, though? You didn't tell us what they were? I didn't see anything pop up on the left side of the screen. I assume they were Skellige cards. But we may need to just guess what's new? Because I don't see anything here that... Maybe even a leader? No? Still only 2? No! We already had them? The Gwent cards were a lie. How dare she? How dare she? Can't even go in here to loot their house and take their otherworldly possessions to make up for it? I'm crushed. Let's climb on their rooftop and shout our rage. Let the world know. We were promised Gwent cards from this argumentative ghost lady. But, I mean, there was a giant cursed plant. They tried to eat us, but no Gwent cards. No Gwent cards. Cruel and unusual punishment, that is. We go out this way. This is the one with the guard? Aw, I wanted it to be the one with the guard. Be like, oh, excuse me. Okay. But that means one of our level 36 quests is now done. And we still have Paper Chase, which we still need to wait a week for. I mean, it's been like maybe 1, possibly 2 days at this stage. Then there's the fist fighting, and I think that's the last we have in terms of 36. Now, the fist fighting, based on what we've seen on previous occasions in previous areas where we've done fist fighting, tends to be that the level of the opponents we face varies quite a bit. So, at times I think it's actually been higher than the level we've seen listed. So it might be that the first person is level 36, and then the second person is like 38, third person is 40 or something like that. But it's not always apparent, just based on the descriptions, as to which people are stronger than others, because usually that is the case, that they are not all just the same difficulty. And you can technically fight them in any order. Colossus really sounds like that is the most difficult one, but maybe that's just a meme, and in truth, that's actually this tiny little person who's barely capable of throwing a punch. But, maybe we go see who Stillwaters is? Are they all over TOUSSAINT, or are they all in the city? Because, like, let's just see. That's certainly doable. But where is Colossus? Is Colossus in this general area? Or not? No, Colossus is actually arguably closer. Maybe we do go for Colossus next in that case. Let's give that a shot. Alright. So yeah, we have definitely not explored much, if at all, in this area of town, so probably something we'll want to do in a little bit greater detail eventually. How do we get up there? Go through here.
Oh, don't you tread on me.
Can we do this, or is this locked? This is locked. Oh, Colossus!
Don't you tread on me.
However, are we supposed to fistfight you? I think we found the spot.
Hey, Master Witcher, will you face Colossus? Folks say those
Contestant, is that him over there?
He's as old as Father William. I smack him
Doesn't seem that colossal to me. Oh, or is that him? That's Colossus.
your word. I shan't waste my breath on you till you do.
He can't be so bad, right? Save just in case. Also, let's get back to full HP before we fight him. Okay.
Oh, now you look to be a man in search of exertion. Hey, White
I
Locks,
guess you could put it that way.
dare to fight Colossus?
Is that really his name? I have my doubts. You mean to tell me that when he was born, his parents looked at him and said, "This tiny little baby, we're gonna call him Colossus"? I don't know.
Colossus. Interesting as monikers go. Or is that what his mother called him out of the womb, too?
Hey!
Why would she not have? Colossus. It rings out with pride and passion. So, will you fight?
Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, Why not?
Fine, let's fight.
No idea what level this guy's actually going to be. I think it's going to be higher than 36.
For you, it'll be knick-knack, paddywhack, kiss your arm bone. Where's the sport in it?
Don't want to fight? Why bother looking for challengers then? Wasting my time.
Whoa, a bit testy are we? A witcher, right? Let's do it like this. You parry 3 blows I throw your way, you win. But you can't swing at me, not once.
Oh.
Just deflect my blows, got it? Catch 3 of them, and I'll toss you double your wager.
Oh.
Feeling that generous?
No, I just know you can't do it. No one's ever done it. Too fast, see?
I bet he stuns people when he punches them. Oh yeah. You can definitely try. My guess is what tends to happen is, even if you block, he stuns you, and that means that you're staggered back and you can't actually block a follow-up hit. So, like, you'll block the first one, but then he's going to pummel you after that and deal a bunch of damage and potentially take you out. So I think that's going to be the risk. So we're going to block, and then we're just going to, like, try to dash and roll out of the way as quickly as possible. But, we'll see how feasible that is.
Fine. Doubt I'll have any trouble deflecting a few blows.
That I get. At long last, one with a sportsman's soul. Now, listen. The rules say you're not to start your parry until I've cocked my fist.
Oh, okay.
Standing
Now
within
you tell us
guards, not
the
allowed.
stipulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, witness a most
We might...
peculiar
Yeah, I don't know
fact.
how picky that's really
How
going to
shall
be,
I say
but that
this?
could
The
potentially be
Witcher has
difficult.
accepted a colossal challenge.
Alright. Very funny. So we can't just hold the block button, is basically the thing. Okay, I was a little slow on that one. Block that one.
Too quick for you, huh?
Oh. There we go. Block the second one. He is 36, for what it's worth. That was quick. There we go.
Incredible.
Not that bad.
The Witcher has parried Colossus's blows. No one's ever managed that feat.
Here's your due.
Thanks.
Only
Ah, he
one
did give us double.
combatant remains. The knight known as Still Waters. Defeat him, and you will gain the right to challenge the Maestro. Look for the knight in Oatville, near Mountebank Alley.
Okay. Mission accomplished, I guess. Good stuff. And, So, I mean, we could make a point of exploring this part of town now. Maybe that's worth doing, given how we have not been around here as of yet. Although, then again, we might find that all the buildings are locked. It does seem like, perhaps, maybe more so than with other areas. It seems as though buildings tend to be locked here in Toussaint, though. That may not be a fair assessment. Maybe not. We've been in a few. Like, can we go in here? That is not a doorway. So, the answer to that question would be no. But we can go in here
Greetings.
and take all their strawberries, blueberries, and olives.
From Hank Ophis too.
Ooh. Got anything nice up here?
Never you worry.
Maybe.
One is never
Yeah, mostly junk. I mean, oftentimes that is the case when we're looting stuffs like this. We get just random junk that's not actually that good. However, in some of the houses that we have been in, we've gotten like gold and jewelry and whatnot. Silver candelabras. What does this? Oh, that note is not actually readable. It's like just a piece of paper, apparently, with no actual written contents on it that we can, well, read. There is a ladder here somewhere that Geralt really does not want to use. There we go. So yeah, maybe if we are to spend more time and effort looting some homes. Oh, well, I was gonna say, we might get these types of things. More so in other parts of the city. Maybe this is a little bit of the, well, not as much of the the rich nobles in this area. This might be a little bit more of the average citizens. Who knows? Oh, this is their backyard. Can we climb up that? Yes. Okay. This guy doing anything? Peering out into the water? For the people who are fishing? Totally, dude. Long live the Duquesa. So... Where exactly was Stillwater? He's on the other end of town, right? So I mean, there's not really a good fast travel spot there, or at least we don't have one. I was gonna say, when we're right here, next to this, it might make sense to do that, but, well, we don't have a great place to beam ourselves up to. Let's see what they have to say about this area, though. Experts know the secret to TOUSSAINT wines lies not in the vines of its hills, but in the oaks of its forests. So desirable are the barrels made from this wood, it seemed loggers would cut the duchy clear until protests from angry druids stopped them. After years of negotiations, a compromise was reached, and a special organization, the Cooper's Guild, was created. Thanks to its strict supervision of the industry, logging became sustainable, and it became the richest guild in the city, as evinced by the proud gate it funded. There was an elaborate gate that we did walk through recently, although it didn't seem like this was quite as elaborate of an area. A little more open and less city-like. But I don't know, maybe I'm not enough of a real estate expert to know which one of these properties would technically be the most valuable in an open market. Excuse me, townsman, could you please inform me of what the listing price is of this establishment? Of fire and stone. Sphere of Mundi is divided into 4 elemental planes. The plane of earth, the plane of water, the plane of air, and the plane of fire. Earth and water together form our planet, around which circulates air. Above air stretches the ether, fiery air, or in short, fire. Past fire lie the subtle sidereal heavens known collectively as firmamentum, which are of a spherical nature. That is where the erotica sidera, drifting stars, and fixa sidera, fixed stars, reside. The elemental planes are inhabited by creatures which can be summoned by the use of magic. They are gnomes, sylphs, salamanders, and audonates, all of which belong to the category commonly known as elementa. A gnome is an elementa? Huh. Didn't know that. Noble houses of TOUSSAINT, volume whatever this is. Sangreal, alternatively Sangreal, literally royal blood, the legendary line, which some trace back to the first lords of the lands now lying in TOUSSAINT and northwestern Heartland. The first mention of Willem the Bold, this line's founder, comes from elven manuscripts found during reconstruction of the Beauclair Palace in 1095. Since this source, like all things elven, is unreliable, okay there, and should not be taken into consideration by historians, the existence of House Sangreal must be considered a mere fable. Salvarez D of the Regulus Platinum Crest. This line takes its name from Salvar the Lame, who was made a count in the year 1189 by Duchess Caraberta for his service to the ducal throne. The D. Salvarez line's crest depicts a Regulus Platinum, one of the so-called silver basilisks, whose existence is highly suspect, its classification as a species considered erroneous by most zoologists. Poricella of the Two Towers crest, known for being allied to both Saruman and Sauron, an ancient line whose founders most likely first settled in the lands of present-day TOUSSAINT around year 984. They waged fierce war against the elves until the 6th decade of the 11th century, when all of what is now TOUSSAINT fell under human control. Okay? Looks like these, we may not pick these up recently, but we theoretically have not yet read them. For those who find the wines of TRANSMUTATOR Valley too dull, I strongly recommend the lesser-known but still outstanding brands produced in the Belchour Valley. Let us start with the amazing Côte de Blessure, produced at the Pomerol Vineyard. I particularly recommend the 1260 to 1263 vintages with their distinctively rich flavor. Looking elsewhere, the nearby Zurmeron Castle offers the dry Castel de Neuf, whereas Nouragus and Sauquer, located in the northern parts of Toussaint, specialize in red wines and jointly produce and export the wine known as in the north as Toussaint Red. Exquisite rosé wine could once be found at Casteldaccia, but ever since its owner tragically passed away, the vineyard has fallen into decay. Okay. The Ducal Chronicle, second amended edition. Ducal Chronicle, tome whatever, second edition amended. In the month preceding the celebrations surrounding the Festival of Vat, the ducal couple and a delegation of notables embarked on a neighborly visit to the court of Queen Calanthe of Sintra. The visit had both a social and political dimension. The Duchess was hoping Queen Calanthe would follow the dictates of international protocol and repay with a visit of her own. Oh, we have read this. I remember this. I don't know why that had a star next to it, but that is definitely familiar to me. Any other valuables for us to take here? Say, perhaps on your second floor? Perchance? Valuables other than that herb that we probably have over 100 copies of? No, it's meteorite. Okay, fair enough. That is something. Black armor dye. Actually, not sure if we have much in the way of black dye. I think we've read all those. Looks like they're kind of grayed out. Just check it, and yeah, we don't get a little sound effect saying that our bestiary has been updated. I think does confirm that suspicion. Oh. What about taking from this place that you are currently looking? And these both look like they're new. Rude. I mean, we were busy stealing from you. Sheesh. Come on, man. In the northwestern region of the Duchy of Toussaint, past the Blessure River, there lies the forest of Caed Merkvid, a druidic sanctuary. I wonder if we can actually go there. Which, as a result of treaties signed with the duchy's rulers, enjoys full autonomy in its internal affairs. The forest is one of the many reserves of the Beauclair oak, a significant component of the local cooperage industry. With ecological balance in mind, and following agreements between the Coopers Guild and the Flaminica, leader of the circle, oak felling in the forest is currently subject to strict supervision. In 1267, when the Flaminica granted asylum to druids from Caerdu, or Caeddu, in Angrin, fighting broke out within the sanctuary. The bandits who tried to escape justice in the forest were burnt alive in wicker hags to set an example. Lovely. Since then, the borders of Caed Merkvid have been protected by strong magical barriers, and to be honest, I would not recommend visiting this region without an invitation from the Flaminica. From Petrin Failsand's Guide to Toussaint. Okay, I thought we had another book that we saw as well, or maybe it was this one that we got pushed before we got the chance to read. Curious Customs of Toussaint Toys. Where have all the heroic and selfless knights gone? Are the truly noble, like Ramon of Guinchon or Martinoy de la Plaque, a thing of the past now? Though they maintain a facade of independence and altruism, the knights errant of Toussaint of our day are paid, and by the Duchess herself. So I ask, is that noble? Is that dignified? Should a knight, a nobleman after all, receive payment for his heroic deeds? Is he but a mercenary, or, pardon my Naziri, a plowing witcher? You wouldn't. Shouldn't the tears of joy of a rescued damsel suffice as a reward? I simply cannot understand it. Paraphrase the weighty words of the wise René de Hospitalier. Such fools, these Toussaintois. Alright. If you say so. Anything in this corner? Does not appear so. In which case, let's nab the glamour, and gold, and silver, and silk, and other stereotypical rich person items. Like more silver and ink and parchment. And Han fiber. Did we... Looked like that was a door. Maybe not.
Banquets and wine.
Alright, so yeah, I mean, on that occasion, I think that's a good example of we can get some decent stuff when we do poke our heads in some of those buildings. You know, if you just got a bunch of valuables lying around that we can take, then that's pretty sweet. If we've read all that stuff. Is this outside? That's outside. Hold on. Grapes, of course. But dude, man, so many people trying to knock us away whenever we're trying to loot stuff. Like, seriously. Show some manners. How else are we gonna get our herb toast? Seriously. And fish. Other than to shove you out of the way. Also, really don't want us to take these. They're glowing, but we just absolutely cannot loot them. They look like wine, or at least that one does. But, the world may never know.
A smashing place we have, eh? Wine by the bell.
Let's see, up here? Guy really wants some herb toast? What kind of herbs we talking? I think you gotta, I mean, like, I'm thinking, I mean, my usual lunch in a work week is, cheese on, light cheddar cheese on toast with, just like, a totally insane amount of dill. And then some herbs de Provence on top of that. That's my take on some herb toast. Obviously, when you add cheese to it, it becomes more of a sandwich, and that's why I have it for lunch. But that's my idea of it, at least. Forgotten species, the protoflutter, and slizzards through the ages. Let's read up. These sound like they are going to be relevant for us. So the protoflutter. If you take a flutter and magnify all of its most primitive traits, you'll get a protoflutter. This beast, the flutter's distant ancestor, arrived here from parallel sphere centuries past, yet unlike the flutter, has remained untouched by any post-conjunction evolutionary processes. In our time, protoflutters are extremely rare, and more suitably adapted flutters having taken over their niche in our biosphere. Protoflutters are thus lesser vampires. Their massive, wide jaws constitute their main weapons, their sharp claws coming in close second. Similarly to their more developed cousins, protoflutters rely on their instincts rather than intelligence, and are quite sensitive to the scent of blood. All the usual means of fighting vampires, such as vampire oil, black blood, and silver weapons, apply to them as well. Then we saw slizzards, which we heard about slizzards back in The Witcher 2, I believe? When, I don't think did we ever fight them? We might have fought them in The Witcher 1. There were a lot of enemies that were that tight, like Cockatrice, Basilisk, Slizzard. I mean, I suppose we've had both those things in The Witcher 3 as well, but might have had some Slizzards in The Witcher 1, but then in The Witcher 2, the Slizzard had some particular plot significance, because, well, a certain somebody apparently needed rescuing from a Slizzard, and apparently we helped that or we did that, and, you know, that someone then proceeded to practically single-handedly cause the war that ravaged the North. So, yeah, you know, stuff happened. But, let's see. So, for many years, it was erroneously believed slizzards were simply wyverns in their highest stage of development. One scholar, whose completion of an academic course of study must have been the result of no small miracle, heatedly defended this point of a view in a scientific work whose title I shall mercifully withhold. His main line of reasoning was an absurd and completely off-the-mark parallel drawn between the developmental cycles of the slizzard and the Pieris brassicae, also known as the cabbage butterfly. A slizzard, claimed the author, is nothing but a fully mature wyvern that has developed fire glands. Utter rubbish. Let it be known, once and for all, that Charles von Linné is a filthy flop-doodle and an uneducated knucklehead. A slizzard is not by any means the same beast as a wyvern. Yeah, so that's concerning. If they can breathe fire, that is one notable thing that the various Draconids we've fought thus far have not been able to do. Is they've flown, they've occasionally shot poison or acid-like projectiles at us, but never actually fire, I don't think. So that's a scary prospect.
Truly, to send a witch
Anything else up here, or will that be all? I think that may be all.
A smashing place.
A smashing place. How do we get out of here? Is my next question. I would like to leave. I know we were focused on looting all this stuff. I think it's here. And then... No, not there.
Wine by the barrel.
Here. Yes! Light! Let there be light. Okay. Let's start moving out. And you know, like, I'm not super concerned about us getting every single house, all the stuff in it, because I think at this stage, given our state of monies and the amount of valuable gems and gold that we have, if we wanted to, we could probably be set for the rest of the game, or very, very close to it, or at least, you know, just do the bare minimum money-wise, and we may be fine. So I'm not too concerned about min-maxing all that stuff at this stage, at least. I think we've done a good job of that up to this point, and we've those dividends have paid off. And that puts us in a place now where we can pretty comfortably do just about whatever we want with our monies. But of course, I'm sure I will live to eat those words later on. But next up, we have this fight. Let's save. And this is theoretically the last person before we fight the champion. So, where is the bookkeeper? Person that we actually need to talk to fight here? Excuse me? The townspeople? Noblemen? Can someone please tell us who we actually talk to here? Oh, he's hiding over here. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry much about money at this stage. So that's why I think, like, going into every single house in order to find, like, the gold caskets and silver and ruby amulets and whatnot is probably not strictly necessary anymore, because, you know, we're probably more or less set at this stage. Apparently there's a knight next to you that doesn't say anything. Hold on.
Think I might come back some other time.
The knight. Let's try speaking to him. Still Waters. Sorry, say it again. One more time? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Ah, of course. Why didn't you say so the first time?
Come on, Witcher. Welcome back. A duel with still waters. Wouldn't that be something? Care to challenge?
Can you tell us why he doesn't say anything?
Like to know who I'm punching. This knight won't reveal his name or face. Won't say anything at all, not a word.
Rein in your curiosity, sir. A knightly vow is no idle promise. Still waters shall conceal both face and crest until such time as one defeats him. So, will you fight or not?
All right. It's a weird thing to make a knightly vow about. I don't know why you would do that. That seems really counterproductive, if anything. You think that, if anything, the honorable thing would be to not show your face until you win, rather than not show your face until you lose, because then, you know, you're, like, showing yourself after your moment of disgrace. So, yeah, that's kind of a strange one. But sure, we're in. And, I mean, all in, right? Now the thing is, both of the people that we have faced thus far in our fistfights, air quotes, fistfights, in Toussaint, have been different. Different from the usual fistfights. It's not just been a straightforward punch him and whoever runs out of HP first wins, or loses, rather. But first one turned into a rap battle. Second one turned into exclusively blocking. So I don't know if this is going to be the usual fist fight or if there's going to be some other twist to this as well.
I challenge you to a duel.
Noble lords and virtuous ladies, another fight is soon to begin.
Okay, does not seem as though there are any special rules here. Oh, I hate getting pinned against the wall, though. That's always tough. Let's get away from that. Also, I would be lying if I didn't say that I immediately took notice of this being the Gwent waiting in the queue music. Put 'em up. We'll just, oh, well, that was not the best, but, yeah, we're just gonna continue to counter him and actually have what appears to be a normal fistfight. Imagine that. Thought they were too noble and too soft to do that. But down he goes. That's pretty straightforward.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Witcher defeats the previously invincible Stillwaters.
Invincible is a strong word.
What about it was? Freed of his vow, the knight can now show his face.
Your blows
My
are strong
word.
and true. My congratulations.
Thanks.
Have you naught to add? I'm a woman. No wry remarks?
No, not really.
Before, it's the 13th century. Nothing peculiar about it. Women own taverns, run farms, and fight.
Will you not claim
And our
there was
Queen
no
of Skellige
honor in
and
fighting
stuff.
a wench?
No. I'd expect to hear that from someone who was afraid to lose to a woman.
A good fight. A sound fight. One that's earned you the right to challenge the Maestro. You've only dishonor to gain should you back out now.
Oh,
You'll find the Maestro by the docks.
okay. That really sounded like you were saying, like, do it right now or else. It's kind of a threat. Speaking of a threat, that contestant absolutely just called us out. Now he's beating this guy up, but he just absolutely pointed straight at us and he was like, you're next.
Come on, come here.
I do think we also just leveled, and in some ways we were trying to delay reaching this level as long as we could, so that we could at least complete our level 36 quest first. Because yeah, now we see that Paper Chase is grayed out, which I think means we're starting to get an experience penalty on it, and we got like 90% of it done before that happened. So almost. I think we got some rounds of experience along the way, so that's hopefully not too bad. And then 37 is now next in line. We have a few of those, not quite as many, I don't think. But that also means that if we level up one more time, then I think those are going to get graded out. We're going to get experience penalties on those. So that would mean, do we have? Yeah, okay. So the champion of Toussaint is stronger. He's level 40 rather than 36. So that'll wait, I think, for a little while longer. But we are now to go to the 37s. We have Wine Wars, Belgard. And we have, I thought, at least one more here. Father Knows Worst. And we had potentially Witcher Contract? Yeah, Big Game Hunter. Okay, I was wondering if this was the one where, no, Bovine Blues. Okay, it's the one where the cows are falling from the sky. I thought that one was coming up soon, but at least in theory, we're trying to optimize our experience gain. Then we should try to go 37, or at least to the extent possible. We should try to go, lowest quest first and then work our way up so that we avoid the experience penalties to the extent possible. Yeah, I mean, it's true. We're probably going to end up being over-leveled fairly soon. I mean, especially if you consider, like, these are all side quests. Eventually, we're gonna get back to the main quest, which is currently level 39, but obviously over time we'll eventually get higher, but main quest tends to give us a lot more experience. So, you know, once we go back to that, then we're going to have a lot more, and we're probably going to get experience penalties on just about all this. So, yeah, you know, to a certain extent, it's going to be unavoidable. But at least trying to give it our best effort to do it the right way, so to speak. But, you know, maybe we can loosen up a little bit here. Speaking of which, speaking of the main quest, when do we think is the best time to circle back to that? Because it is surprisingly high level, 38, especially considering how it's been a while since we last did it, the main quest, and yet it is still not one of the lower quests we have remaining at this stage. I don't know why I'm running straight into this person.
Red, white, and
So, you know, like, we did a few side quests here. Do we mix it up, go back to the main quest? Do we do... It's been a while since we did a Witcher contract, so, like, we could do one of those. In which case, Big Game Hunter, yeah, would be the lowest one. Then we also have the Bovine Blues. Whenever we feel like it. Okay. I think we should go do a Witcher contract now. What is this one all about? One day, Geralt happened upon an unusual contract notice. Someone was seeking the aid... not of some unarmed Witcher, or unnamed Witcher, but specifically of the Witcher named Geralt of Rivia. Notice listed no other details, so Geralt, admittedly intrigued, resolved to see what was the issue. Let's try this one out. Where is the person we're supposed to chat with? Not in the city. Oh. Now there's a question. Do we want to deliberately make a point of trying to finish things up in and around the city, and then just kind of put one big check mark on the city and say, all right, done. Obviously, there's going to be like main quests and other things that end up bringing us back here at some point, I have to imagine, or do we continue to spread out a little bit more, like we went to Flow Vive for a little bit and whatnot, and could head over here, and presumably in doing so would want to check out whatever this place is, and maybe even this place as well. Maybe that's worth doing. Because, yeah, I suppose it's been a little while. Here that we've been in the city.
Upon